There are moments in life when words are not enough to describe what the heart feels. Sometimes emotions run so deep that they cannot be written down or spoken out loud. That's when music becomes the voice of the soul. Music has a special power. It can express pain, joy, and hope in ways that words alone never could. For Gloria Gaither, songwriting has always been her way of turning emotions into something beautiful. She once said that writing songs was like talking to God during her loneliest hours. It's a private, quiet process where truth finds its way from the heart to paper. Gloria compared songwriting to her relationship with her brother. They had disagreements, sometimes painful ones, but love always brought them back together. That same bond of forgiveness and understanding shows up in her music. For over 6 decades, Gloria and her husband Bill Gaither have shared this gift with the world. Their songs are filled with messages of hope, faith, and redemption. They remind people that even in the darkest seasons, God's love never fades. But behind those songs, behind the smiles and laughter, was a story filled with illness, heartbreak, and quiet endurance. Now, at 83 years old, Gloria Gaither has opened up about the hidden struggles of her life, revealing truths that have brought many fans to tears. Bill Gaither has long been one of the most beloved figures in gospel music. Through decades of songwriting and performing, he has touched millions of lives. But beside him, every step of the way has been his wife, Gloria. She was not just his companion in marriage, but also his creative partner, co-writer, and spiritual anchor. Together, they built a legacy that transformed Christian music. Still, their success came at a heavy price. Life behind the spotlight was far from easy. Gloria has recently spoken about her long battle with illness and the emotional weight it placed on their marriage. As a teenager, she suffered from tuberculosis, which forced her into long hospital stays. Though she eventually recovered, the illness left lasting damage to her lungs. Later in life, she faced 2 more devastating diagnoses: breast cancer and Lyme disease. Both illnesses drained her physically and emotionally. Yet through it all, she continued writing songs, teaching, and inspiring others. Bill stood beside her, caring for her and helping her find strength through faith. Their story is not just about success, but about resilience. The Gaithers have always believed that no matter how dark life becomes, God's light will always lead the way. In her heartfelt confessions, Gloria revealed that the past few years have been among the hardest. She and Bill both faced health challenges that tested their faith and their marriage. Rumors once spread among fans that Gloria had suffered a stroke. Concern and fear grew across the gospel community. Though the couple later clarified that she hadn't had a stroke, Gloria admitted that her health had indeed declined due to years of illness. Just as she began to recover, Bill received news that shook their world. He was diagnosed with heart disease. For both of them, it was a sobering reminder that time was passing, and their bodies could no longer carry the same energy they once had. Many thought this might mean the end of the Gaither musical journey. But instead of giving up, they made a powerful decision. They changed their diet, focusing on plant-based foods and fresh produce. They began exercising gently, walking together, and practicing gratitude each day. Slowly, they regained strength. Their story became a message of hope, not only for gospel fans, but for anyone fighting through illness. The Gaithers showed that even when the body weakens, the spirit can remain strong. Health battles were only one part of the Gaithers' emotional journey. Over the years, they also faced deep losses that left scars on their hearts. They lost dear friends and collaborators, people who had become like family. In 2002, they said goodbye to Howard "Happy" Goodman, a gospel legend who had stood beside them for years. Bill sang one of Goodman's favorite songs at the funeral, moving everyone to tears. Only a few years later, in 2005, they lost George Jones, the beloved bass singer of the Cathedral Quartet. George was more than a colleague. He was a brother in faith. These losses were painful reminders of how fragile life is. Many of these friends were also part of the Gaither Homecoming series, a project that brought gospel artists from different generations together in joy and harmony. Losing them felt like losing parts of their own ministry. Through grief and heartache, Gloria found healing in writing. She poured her sorrow into her lyrics, creating songs that comforted others who had also lost loved ones. In her book, Because He Lives, she shared how music became her therapy, her prayer, and her testimony. For Gloria, pain was never wasted. It always had a purpose. Behind the fame and applause, the Gaithers faced private battles with discouragement and self-doubt. Gloria often felt exposed when her songs were misunderstood or criticized. She admitted that being open about her faith and emotions sometimes made her feel vulnerable. Yet she continued to write, believing that God could use her weakness to reach others. Bill, too, had moments of insecurity. He sometimes wondered whether he was truly good enough to be a gospel artist. But Gloria's encouragement and faith gave him courage to continue. Together, they turned their fears into music that lifted others. Songs like He Touched Me and Because He Lives were born from their personal struggles and deep trust in God. Fans could feel their hearts in every lyric. Those songs were more than melodies. They were stories of survival, love, and divine purpose. Even in their hardest times, Bill and Gloria never stopped believing that their calling was bigger than their pain. Their story became proof that faith can turn fear into hope and sorrow into song. Looking back now, it's easy to see the Gaithers as legends, but their early years were far from glamorous. In the 1950s, Bill dreamed of becoming a gospel singer, but life was difficult. Money was tight and opportunities were few. In August 1955, after years of struggling to make a living through music, he had to give up performing and return to working at Cox's grocery store in Anderson, Indiana. It was a humbling time that tested his faith. Gloria, too, worked as a teacher to support the family. Together, they lived modestly, sometimes barely making enough to get by. Yet even then, they continued writing songs late at night after work. Those early struggles shaped their music, filling it with sincerity and gratitude. Many of their most heartfelt songs came from those years of hardship. Their message was simple: God provides, even when life seems impossible. Over time, their perseverance began to pay off. As they continued writing and performing, people began to notice their unique sound, fresh, emotional, and filled with truth. What started as a small-town dream slowly grew into one of the greatest gospel music careers in history. As the Gaithers' popularity grew, not everyone approved of their approach. Some conservative groups criticized their style, saying it blended too much contemporary music with traditional gospel. In 1968, a college even banned students from attending a Gaither trio concert, calling their songs too worldly. But Bill and Gloria refused to give up their vision. They believed gospel music could evolve while still honoring God. They faced other challenges too. In 1971, after winning several GMA Dove Awards, a controversy arose when the voting process was questioned. Although the main issue involved another group, Bill's own award was revoked. He was heartbroken but chose to respond with grace. Years later, false rumors of financial misconduct also surfaced, though no charges were ever filed. Bill denied any wrongdoing, focusing instead on his ministry. These moments were painful, but they never broke his faith. The Gaithers learned to rise above judgment, knowing that their true purpose came from serving God, not pleasing people. Their ability to forgive, stay humble, and keep working became a lesson in perseverance for countless fans. Through trials, their faith only grew stronger. Through decades of dedication, the Gaithers built something extraordinary. They founded the Gaither Music Company, which expanded into record production, concerts, television programs, and publishing. Their Homecoming series became a worldwide phenomenon, bringing together gospel artists and generations of believers. But even with fame and financial success, they never lost sight of what truly mattered: faith and family. Gloria often said that true ministry begins at home. No matter how busy their lives became, they made sure to spend time with their children and grandchildren. They balanced tours, writing sessions, and business responsibilities while keeping their family close. Many of their songs were inspired by everyday family moments, simple joys, laughter, and shared prayers. Gloria found deep meaning in being both a mother and a mentor. She once said that raising children was as sacred as writing a song. For her, every act of love was an act of worship. This balance between family and faith became the heart of the Gaither legacy, showing that success means little if it comes at the cost of personal relationships. As with any public figures, fame brought both admiration and criticism. The Gaithers' work on the Homecoming series was praised by millions, but some accused the project of being too commercial or exclusive. Certain artists claimed they were left out for personal or business reasons. Others criticized the Gaithers for working with contemporary or openly gay artists, calling it a compromise of gospel values. Through it all, Bill and Gloria stayed calm and kind. They believed that ministry should be about inclusion, not division. Their focus remained on spreading love through music. When questions arose about financial matters or personal choices, they faced them with honesty and humility. Their fans admired this grace under pressure. Even in their older years, the Gaithers continued performing, teaching, and mentoring young musicians. They never let controversy define them. Instead, they let their songs speak louder than rumors. Every concert, every lyric, and every testimony reminded people that love and faith are stronger than judgment. The Gaithers became not only gospel icons, but also symbols of forgiveness and endurance. Bill and Gloria's love story began in the early 1960s at Alexandria Monroe High School in Indiana, where both were teachers. Bill taught English, and Gloria worked in education as well. Their shared love for music brought them together, and soon their friendship turned into something deeper. On December 22, 1962, they married, beginning a journey that would combine love, faith, and creativity. For years, they balanced teaching with songwriting and performing. By 1967, their music career had grown enough for both to dedicate themselves fully to it. They wrote more than 700 songs together, many of which became timeless hymns sung in churches around the world. Through the ups and downs, their bond remained unshakable. Gloria often said that their marriage was built on three things: faith, forgiveness, and friendship. Even when fame brought challenges, they always found their way back to each other. Their partnership became a living example of how love and belief in God can sustain two people through anything. To this day, their relationship continues to inspire millions who see in them a reflection of what true devotion looks like. At 83, Gloria Gaither has reached a point in life where she feels ready to speak from the heart. In her recent reflections, she opened up about the pain, loss, and silent battles she endured over the years. Her confessions were not meant to gain sympathy, but to show others that even faithful believers struggle. She spoke about moments of fear, exhaustion, and doubt, but also about the peace that came through surrendering everything to God. Fans were deeply moved by her honesty. Many said her words reminded them that faith is not the absence of pain. It's the strength to keep going in spite of it. Today, Bill and Gloria may not perform as often as before, but their music continues to touch hearts across generations. Songs like Because He Lives and Something Beautiful are still sung in churches, bringing comfort and hope. Their story proves that love can survive sickness, controversy, and time itself. Gloria's confession has shown the world that vulnerability is not weakness, it's a form of courage. And even at 83, her life is still a song, one written by faith, sung through tears, and remembered forever. When people talk about Bill Gaither, they often mention his success, his songs, and his impact on gospel music. But behind all of that is a woman who shaped much of that legacy, Gloria Gaither. Born on March 4, 1942, in Michigan, Gloria was more than just a singer or songwriter. She was a storyteller, a poet, and a woman of deep faith. Before she met Bill, she was already passionate about literature and music. She had a way with words, the kind that touched the soul. When she and Bill got married in 1962, it wasn't just a union of two hearts, but also a partnership that would change the course of Christian music forever. Together, they wrote more than 700 songs, many of which became hymns of hope for millions around the world. Gloria's lyrics often carried deep spiritual meaning, capturing both the struggles and joys of faith in everyday life. The love story between Bill and Gloria Gaither wasn't just romantic, it was spiritual. They met while working at Alexandria High School, where both were teachers. Bill taught English and Gloria taught French. Their shared love for music quickly drew them together. Bill admired Gloria's intelligence and her poetic touch, while Gloria was drawn to Bill's deep faith and passion for gospel songs. Soon, their bond grew into something unbreakable. Together they began writing songs that expressed real human emotions. Songs that reminded people that faith wasn't just about rules, but about love, hope, and trust in God. Hits like Because He Lives, He Touched Me, and Something Beautiful came from this deep emotional connection. Their marriage was not without challenges, but every trial only strengthened their unity. They supported each other's dreams and leaned on their shared belief that God had chosen them for a greater purpose. While many know Bill Gaither for his public performances and leadership, Gloria was the quiet force that kept things steady when life became overwhelming. In interviews, she often spoke about moments of doubt, exhaustion, and the pressures of maintaining a public ministry while raising children. Yet she faced every obstacle with remarkable strength and grace. Gloria was the one who encouraged Bill to rest when he was worn out from touring. She also made sure their home remained a place of peace, a space where love and music could coexist. When the Gaithers faced criticism or personal struggles, Gloria's faith held them together. She reminded her husband that their purpose was not fame, but service, to touch lives through their music. Her writing often reflected this inner resilience, filled with words that could comfort others even when she was the one going through pain. Gloria Gaither wasn't only a lyricist, she was a visionary. She co-wrote some of the most meaningful Christian songs in history, songs that continue to inspire generations. But what made her truly special was her ability to turn faith into poetry. She had the rare gift of putting deep theological truths into simple, emotional words that anyone could understand. Beyond music, Gloria was an accomplished author and speaker. She wrote books that explored life, spirituality, and family, always using her own experiences as lessons of faith. Her creative approach helped reshape how gospel music was written. Less rigid, more real. While many writers focused on praise, Gloria focused on connection, the link between the heart, the divine, and everyday struggles. Her influence went far beyond music studios or stages. It reached into churches, homes, and classrooms, touching lives in ways even she might not have imagined. Many of the Gaithers' most loved songs came directly from Gloria's reflections on life and faith. The timeless hymn, Because He Lives, was born out of a season of doubt and fear. When the world around them seemed uncertain, and they had just welcomed a new baby, Gloria struggled with anxiety about the future. But as she looked at her newborn child, she felt God reminding her that there was hope, that because He lives, I can face tomorrow. That moment inspired lyrics that would go on to comfort millions around the world. Her songs were personal, honest, and deeply emotional because they came from real experiences. Gloria believed that faith wasn't about perfection. It was about trusting God even when everything felt broken. Her words reflected that belief, giving people strength during times of sorrow, loss, or fear. Even though the Gaithers became household names in Christian music, Gloria always prioritized family first. She and Bill raised 3 children, Suzanne, Amy, and Benjamin, while managing tours, writing sessions, and television recordings. It wasn't easy, but Gloria's nurturing nature made it possible. She often said that her most important role wasn't being on stage or writing lyrics, it was being a mother. Despite her fame, she stayed humble and grounded, creating a home filled with warmth, laughter, and faith. Many of their songs were inspired by these family moments. Gloria's children remember her as a gentle yet strong woman who taught them about love, grace, and hard work. She didn't just talk about faith. She lived it every day, showing compassion to everyone around her. Her ability to balance her public and private life became an example for countless women who looked up to her as both an artist and a mother. Today, Gloria Gaither's influence stretches far beyond music charts or awards. Her words continue to bring peace to people facing despair and uncertainty. Generations of believers have sung her lyrics in churches, hospitals, and funerals, finding comfort in her message that God's love never fails. She has been honored with numerous awards, but what truly matters to her is the impact of her work on people's hearts. Even in her later years, she remains deeply connected to her faith community, still sharing wisdom through books, interviews, and speaking engagements. Together with Bill, she built a legacy that continues to uplift millions. Their songs remind the world that even in dark times, faith and love will always shine through. Gloria's gentle voice and poetic soul have made her not just a part of gospel history, but a spiritual guide for all who seek hope through music. After more than 6 decades together, Bill and Gloria Gaither's marriage remains one of gospel music's greatest love stories. They've stood by each other through success, illness, and personal trials, proving that true love is built on faith and understanding. Bill often says that Gloria is his greatest blessing, the one who gave his music its soul. And Gloria, in turn, sees Bill as the partner God gave her to fulfill their shared purpose. Even now, when they appear together, there's a visible tenderness between them, the kind that only comes from a lifetime of shared dreams and prayers. Their love story continues to inspire young couples around the world, showing that faith-based relationships can endure the test of time. To this day, fans still see them as living examples of how music, love, and belief can create something eternal. In the story of Bill Gaither's incredible life, Gloria's presence is the steady rhythm beneath the melody. Her quiet strength, her faith-filled words, and her endless creativity turned their journey into something extraordinary. She has shown that the power of music isn't just in the sound, it's in the message it carries. And through her message, Gloria Gaither has helped millions find hope when they needed it most. Her story reminds us that behind every great man is often a woman whose grace, intelligence, and faith make everything possible. As long as people continue to sing Because He Lives or Something Beautiful, Gloria's spirit will live on, a gentle whisper of hope in every heart that listens.